Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about increasing your value. So we talk a lot about savings, and everybody, myself included, emphasizes that you need some sort of savings plan, investment plan. But what we don't cover very often is that there's a cap on how much you can actually save, and you need to increase your earnings. You need to increase your market value. And so here's a couple ideas for how to do that for those who maybe don't have any. But the very first one is learn another language. And if you know more than one language, it's fine, learn another. I myself speak fluently in 2 languages. I dabble in a third and a fourth, which would be Spanish and German, respectively. I'm not conversational in either of those last 2, but I work at it and I have fun with it. And it's a skill that does increase my worth. And if I would ever, need to employ it, I know I could ramp up my Spanish in a month or 2. I know within 6 months I could be fluent in German. So whatever job prospect that might be, I can go for it and definitely skip the queue. Second, do you read when you don't have to? And this is a very important and underestimated one. Reading 20 minutes a day, mainly nonfiction, but I'll allow, one fiction book here and there on all sorts of topics you never learned about before, topics you might actually be in disagreement with. But you know what? It pays to know the point of view of your enemy if you're going to enter a debate. So read. And reading is a skill, obviously, but the knowledge you'll get from reading these books, the different perspectives that you'll get. And remember this, perspective is what you gain over time. Perception is what you gain immediately. Perception is emotional. Perspective is logical. And unfortunately, as humans, we tend to be guided by our perceptions and our emotions, which are very, very quickly. Think about fear. Think about something that scares you. That's instant. Now think about processing a logical problem. Oh, I'll have to sleep on it. It's very slow. So take your time and read so you can gain perception and better understand the world around you. Next, study a topic that has nothing to do with where you work, completely different subject matter, and try to incorporate as much of it as you can in doing other stuff. After that, on the fifth side, play a sport. Specifically try to play a team sport, whether that's doubles with pickleball, but soccer, hockey, if you're into that. Any sort of team sport that requires collaboration, communication. Doing so under stress, moderately, as just the pressure of time of the game going forward, will help you throughout. Like the lessons you learn, even though you're not really actively learning those, will do wonders for you. Acquire some certifications, and not necessarily in your field. Yes, those will help. Obviously, if you work in cybersecurity like I do, acquiring a certificate here and there to bolster the fact that you might know a topic, great, and this might earn you more, or at least it will drive your billables, but not necessarily. You can earn a certificate. I got one in sailing. I've got some for shooting guns, obviously driving license, whatever floats your boat. Parachuting again, but try to stick to one expensive hobby at a time. You can do any sort of them. They will give you, again, perspective. They obviously will change your mind and get your mind off of the things that are at work, which is very useful. So gain some certs. Do contract work. I think we undervalue that. Like, you can still do contract work while you're employed, so long as you're not interfering with your non-compete. Most people don't understand their non-compete. You can do contract work for anybody else so long as you're not doing basically the job that this company pays you for, or that you're doing it for a customer that would otherwise be with your company that's employing you. So, I have a friend who's a great graphic artist. He works in cybersecurity. Nothing stops him from working in graphic arts and doing designs and logos and all sorts of stuff on the side as a contractor. It's not in violation of his non-compete. Inform yourself on your non-compete, basically. Next, volunteer. And specifically, volunteer in places where you gain certain skills you don't already have. So when I say this, I mean, Habitat for Humanity, a soup kitchen can work too. Here's the thing there. You're going to learn certain skills, like at a soup kitchen, of planning and forecasting. You're going to you know, you have to know how many people you think are coming, how much food you think you need to cook. Obviously, you don't want to cause wastage because that's terrible, but you also need to be able to prepare cooking times. Like, how long is this going to take to prepare for when people are going to start to arrive, and so on. So something as seemingly mundane as volunteering at a soup kitchen, if you actually participate in even the inventorying and, you know, order reception, or, well, I don't think they have orders, but when stuff shows up, inventorying and categorizing that stuff, those are all skills that you can sharpen there and employ later on. Unfortunately, most people volunteer, but then they don't use or they don't sell those skills properly. You could go at a dog shelter and walk some dogs. It doesn't really matter what it is. You can extrapolate skills and make it worthwhile or make it increase your value. Here's another example. A young lady who I know is currently sailing across the world. She put her studies on hold and she put her career on hold, and she's sailing literally a circumnavigation. And at first she was worried that this would hinder her career, that she would come back and be behind her peer group in terms of her career. And I said, no, like, sailing, especially long passages, multi-day passages, overnight sailing, requires all sorts of planning, organization, problem solving, prioritization, like, you name it. The skills you need, the stress level or the stress management level you need to be able to do this stuff, you will be able to join the workforce. Not saying that you have the same paper document as everybody else. You'll join the workforce saying, I have robust experience in certain fields and I have developed skills under, you know, very critical circumstances at times at sea. So yeah, there you go. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.